Okay, today we're reacting to Joe Bartlozzi, the most disturbing social media trends.
6 most disturbing internet trends.
Angel of Death Challenge. On June 3rd, 2022, an 18-year-old teen tragically passed away after falling in front of a truck in Tangerang, Indonesia. However, what made this particular incident stand out among the dozens of traffic-related deaths on Indonesian roads every day was that this was not an accident.
In 2022, 31,000 people died in Indonesia due to road crashes. 2%.
What is he dressed up as? Is anyone else tapped in on that? What do we got? We got a little kiss thing going on. Okay, interesting.
40,000 motor vehicle deaths. God damn. I know there's like fucking 400 million people in the United States, but that's still insane. Indonesia, it's even more crazy because their population is fucking so much less. Oh, no, it's not. It's 100 million less, which is a lot, but percentage-wise, like 30% less.
This was not an accident. Instead, this was the result of one of the most disturbing internet trends that was sweeping the country during this time.
Oh my god, to try and jump over a fucking moving vehicle?
Actually started back in 2021, but exploded in popularity in mid-2022. The trend was called the Malaikat Maut Challenge, or the Angel of Death Challenge in English.
Oh my God.
It involved TikTokers, mainly teenagers, playing a game with oncoming traffic, particularly loaded trucks. Their goal was to
like chicken?
Run out onto a busy street in front of a truck, hope it stops before hitting them without flinching, and post the video of the stunt online. But
what? And that went viral. So it's not even chicken. The premise of the video or the challenge is that they run out the fucking semi trucks hauling down the fucking road, and they just see if they get hit or not. And then if you don't, you win.
Completing this dangerous challenge successfully was a lot harder than many of its unfortunate participants realized. A
lot harder? How do you successfully do it? You just sit there and pray to God the dude steps on the brake. I don't understand the winning. Well, I guess living is winning. Okay.
Jumped onto the road as the truck got extremely close, giving the driver virtually no time to notice them and apply the brakes. But even when drivers had enough time to see the kids performing these stunts, they still couldn't slow down in time to prevent tragedy. Trucks usually carry heavy cargo, and that weight doesn't stop on a dime. The heavier the load, the longer the braking distance, sometimes stretching dozens of meters.
Yeah, you're not even really testing the person. You're testing how far and how big of the load they have is whether or not you fucking live or die.
After the brakes are fully pressed. So by the time the drivers reacted, it was already too late.
So wait, he said this wasn't on accident. Did he just see the dude get on the road like 100 yards ahead of him and just fucking didn't touch the brakes and just willingly ran over him?
Not to mention the fact that...
Do you think if he did do that, you think he'd see charges? Like for murder? Or it would just be like, yeah, kids are fucking dumb and just kill them?
This trend was also putting the truck drivers at risk, both physically and psychologically.
Oh yeah, they swerve off the fucking road. They're just waiting for people. Like, yeah, if you're an Indonesian truck driver, you're just worried people are gonna fucking jump in front of your car.
For one of these cases, involving a 14-year-old participating in this challenge, the driver fled the scene, likely out of fear of facing criminal charges. If he had instead stopped and cooperated, the footage of the teenager's friends captured for TikTok would have proven his innocence. But by running away, he turned himself into a hit-and-run suspect, potentially jeopardizing his job and even his freedom depending on the charges he received. Following the incident in Tangerang, Indonesian police acted quickly to prevent further tragedies. They managed to stop 14 more kids from attempting the same dangerous stunt that very day.
And they were still doing it after they knew, like, a lot of people that were participating were just dying just for the views on TikTok. Holy fuck. I've never even heard of this. Dude,
well, to be fair, this wasn't in America. This was in Bangladesh, right? So I don't think we would hear about it.
Reminds me, it's not in the same thing, but it's like, you know those insurance fraud people in the United States that'll purposely jump in front of moving vehicles so they can claim injury and sue you? Those people are fucking losers. I saw one where a guy had a dash cam. They jumped in front of his car. He fucking hit him. And then he was like, he rolls down his window. He goes, I have a fucking dash cam, and just keeps driving. And the person they hit probably just fucking broke their leg or some shit. Like, it's not even a hit and run. I don't know. I don't know if that's illegal for him to do, but I was watching that. I was like, God damn, bro.
Continued to monitor the city over the upcoming months. However, the attempts in Tangerang, Indonesia were only a small part of the global trend that...
I dare you to jump in front of that moving car.
several lives and left many others with life-altering injuries over the next year. Thankfully, TikTok eventually stepped in and removed all content related to the Angel of Death challenge.
Oh my god, it was actually called the Angel of Death challenge while it was going on. It wasn't like coined that after.
And since social media validation was the main reason participants took part in this
yeah, bro, like that, he was just gonna fucking go
What? Yeah, he jumped. He dodged it.
stand in front of that shit.
was the main reason participants
That's not... Did he pass or lose that challenge? Because he I'm gonna shut my mouth.
took part in this dangerous trend. The platform's ban caused it to gradually fade into obscurity. Happy slapping. On the 21st of January 2005, the Tez magazine in the UK reported on a new trend spreading rapidly across...
Isn't there a known trend in like New York and in other big cities where like teenagers will ride on the top of subways or trains and just get fucking like clipped on a railing or something and just die, and they just still do it? But I don't know if it's like a trend for social media or if it's just like a way to fast travel. Yeah, they'll like subway.
It's like an aesthetic of people just going on trains and stuff, I think, and just recording videos.
Surf, and then just get fucking murdered.
Across the country, something they referred to as happy slapping. Contrary to its name, however, the trend was anything but happy. In essence, it involved people, often young adults or teenagers, going up to a random person, slapping them, recording their shocked reaction, and then sharing that video with others.
How is that funny? Oh, actually, yeah, it's kind of... And it depends. No, it doesn't depend. Oh my, I'm a horrible person.
So it was just an assault challenge.
Yeah.
Walk up, slap, punch somebody in the face, see what they react.
Camcorders and phones with cameras were becoming a lot more accessible during this time, allowing
when was this again? Like early 2000s?
attackers to record their crime and share it as something.
I'm assuming they slap somebody and then the person they slap ends up pulling out a gun or a knife and killing them.
Something funny. These happy slapping videos were shared all over the internet for the whole world to see. As for how this trend initially started, some reports from the time linked them to violent TV shows like Jackass and Dirty Sanchez. A big difference between these shows and the happy slapping videos, however, was that everyone on TV consented to enduring the pain on camera. The people filming happy slapping videos, on the other hand,
damn! He slapped the shit out of that dude. You see that?
To enduring the pain on camera. The people filming happy slapping videos, on the other hand, usually targeted complete strangers and bystanders for what they perceived as social clout.
Yeah, Dirty Sanchez. Isn't Dirty Sanchez when you shit on somebody's face and so it looks like a mustache?
As a media expert from that time explained
it,
what we see the kids watching these shows doing is thinking, well, maybe I could stage my own scenes of pain and humiliation along these lines. Then with happy slapping, people are drawn in as random victims rather than the kind of voluntary performances we get in the shows that are being copied. I think happy slapping has become a shortcut in the eyes of the slappers to fame and notoriety among the people who see the images circulated on the web or sent to them via their mobile phones. And while that was already bad enough on its own, things quickly took an even darker turn. As time went on, the recordings became increasingly violent, likely in an effort to outdo one another and stand out in the sea of dozens, if not hundreds of similar videos.
Yeah, and they would just start assaulting people.
Things went from humiliating but physically harmless slaps to coordinated attacks resulting in permanent injuries. One of the worst cases of this happened on August 31st, 2009 in South London. A 67-year-old retired care worker named Ekram Haq
65?
Left the mosque on Church Lane in Tooting, England after the evening prayer, where he was then approached by two boys, 15-year-old Hamza Lazai and 16-year-old Leon Elcock, wanting to make a happy slapping video. Things quickly spiraled out of control as neither of them held back, resulting in Ekram passing away a week later from a severe head injury he received during the incident. The two were eventually identified and arrested after police reviewed CCTV footage from a nearby camera. Both pled guilty to manslaughter, with Leon receiving a 4.5-year sentence and Hamza sentenced to 3.5 years in prison. The happy slapping trend as a whole eventually faded away after the UK and the surrounding countries started treating it as a significant threat to public safety, with France even criminalizing it and giving it a punishment of up to 5 years in prison.
That's it? Someone died in up to 5 years? I feel like isn't just standard assault? Why is it any different that it's called happy slapping?
But it's on its own different category as something else. Like, it's not just like assault. It's a happy slapping crime or like a performative crime.
Skullbreaker Challenge. On February 14th, 2020, 12-year-old
Bring a leaf blower to show and tell.
Parker Smith was invited by his friends.
What is the name of this challenge?
Skullbreaker Challenge. On February 14th, 2020, 12-year-old Parker Smith was invited by his friends to film what seemed like a harmless jumping contest with them. He agreed, and on camera jumped the highest he could, but instead of landing safely on his feet, he fell backward and fractured his right arm. He was rushed to the hospital immediately.
Oh, I know what this is. It's when you jump, so you have like a friend here, and it's in the middle jumps, and when he jumps, you kick the bottom of his leg, and he flips upside down. I've seen this actually.
Fortunately, made a full recovery over the following weeks.
What? Like
He
there's
didn't
a
explain
challenge to
this
just
well.
jump
He didn't
as-
explain this well. To my understanding, the person in the middle jumps. The guys on each side, they kick his legs, so when he's in midair, he goes like that, and he flips on his head and falls on his head, of
high
course.
as possible. I feel like that's really normal.
However, what seemed like a simple accident turned out to be part of a disturbing internet trend his two friends were attempting to recreate. The so-called
Oh.
He knows what I'm talking about.
Is this that shit where they get you to jump and then they kick you
Yeah.
or something and you like eat shit and fucking smack your arm? I remember that.
Smack your arm, I feel like you
Yeah.
fall.
called a Skullbreaker
You stand in the middle and they fucking
Yeah.
flip you.
Challenge required 3 people to stand in a line and somehow convince the person in the middle to jump. As soon as they did, the 2 on the outside swept the legs of the one in the middle who was usually unaware of what was about to happen. This caused them to fall backward, usually on their
concrete or marble? That's crazy. On grass is like bad enough, but on concrete?
head, which is where the trend got its name from. It started earlier that year after a video of 2 students from Spain doing it on their friend went viral on social media platforms like TikTok, prompting countless imitators to try and recreate its success. And, as you might imagine, the results were
Yeah, you land on the back of your head, you're fucking paralyzed.
disastrous. With Parker being one of the lucky ones for walking away with just a fractured arm. Many others were knocked unconscious by the impact,
Gym floor? Like, why are we doing this on hard floors?
suffered from severe concussions, and some even needed multiple stitches across their skull and face. The most devastating of these incidents happened on January 24, 2020 in Cherry
I think like the
Hill, New Jersey, when a
What?
in New Jersey, did somebody die? Hold
Why,
on.
why,
I was
why is it such a big deal to New Jersey? Isn't that just like a normal state?
gonna say the harmless version of this is, you know, when somebody's sitting in a plastic lawn chair, you kick the leg out and they fall, but they're gonna fall a foot, they're gonna fall on their side. That's like you know,
I mean, I wouldn't even say that's too harmless. I mean, it depends who you do it on, but if you do it on like a 70-year-old, I don't think that is too great either.
who gives a shit?
Not nearly as bad as this challenge, but still.
He's gonna get hurt type of prank. But like, hey, jump as high as you can in the air. I'm gonna kick your leg so you fall in the back of your fucking head.
suffered from severe concussions. Incidents happened on January 24, 2020 in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, when a group of 7th graders attempted the challenge in school. Unfortunately, the victim fell way too hard on their head, causing them to lose consciousness and have a seizure. He luckily survived the incident and eventually recovered without any permanent head trauma.
You think those students got expelled?
However, his initial condition
I don't think they did. They probably just got suspended for a while and had to go like do some online course or whatever. I don't think they got expelled though, because you could blame it like they're only 12, 13, and they saw it on TikTok. I don't think they get expelled for that.
was bad enough that
Depends if it was a private or public school. Public school, I don't think so. Private school, probably.
authorities arrested the other 2 13-year-old boys.
Wow.
They were charged with 3rd-degree aggravated
I take back what I just said.
assault and 3rd-degree endangering an injured victim, since the harm they caused was mostly intentional. Now, I wasn't able to find any reports on whether the
I think it was also the can I say it's the strength at which you kick them. I don't think it's necessarily horrible if you do it to your friend and you get him to jump, you kick him and then catch him. But if you're like, hey buddy, jump, hup, hup, and then you just fucking like
Is he a possum? Is this the whole get up he's got
like
going on?
beeline the shit out of his leg so he actually just falls on the fucking back of his head versus like on his butt.
charges were dropped or not. But even if they were, being arrested for
I don't
attempt
think the strength matters. No, it's fucked up either way, but I think there is a level of like malicious intent
Yeah.
or not involved. Like, I don't think everybody that wanted to do that challenge was like, I want to hurt my friend. But I think some people that did it were like, yeah, let me just actually try and injure them.
let me try to give them brain damage real quick.
Challenge goes to show just how dangerous it can be. TikTok also stepped in and banned all videos of this challenge on their platform.
Bro, I remember seeing these videos.
Unfortunately, once something is on the
Hard floor again? Like, why can't we take this outside or something?
internet, it never truly goes away. As evident from two girls finding videos of the Skullbreaker challenge, attempting it on one of their classmates, injuring them, and getting charged for it in November 2022, more than 2.5 years after.
If they deleted all the video, well, I guess, I feel like if this came out in 2020, didn't they say they deleted all the videos in like 2020, 2021? I feel like I saw this in like 2022, yeah.
The original fad ended. Fortunately, there haven't been many reports of kids getting injured because of this challenge ever since.
Remember the milk crate challenge? Yeah, didn't some woman actually go paralyzed from that?
What is the milk? What is that? What? Is he gonna explain
Sucks is I probably would have fucking done that challenge. Not thinking about it. Like, it's not even, like, a lot of the...
What is the milk crate challenge? Known as the crate challenge, a video that became viral, stacking milk crates on the structure, podium. Let's hop back down without destroying the structure. How is this? Am I an idiot? But I feel like he chose to go up on the milk crate. Oh, does someone break it? Let it his affair. No, but like he chose to go up on the milk crate. I don't understand. Wait, is he just like on a tangent, or is he talking like how it's exactly similar?
Remember the milk crate challenge? Yeah, didn't some woman actually go paralyzed from that? What sucks is I probably would have fucking done that challenge. I probably would have done that too. Not thinking about it. Like, it's not even, like, a lot of these are like, hey, you're stupid. Why are you running in front of a fucking moving car? What's the milk crate challenge?
Oh my God.
There's a bunch of crates stacked in a pyramid. And it's like 1 crate, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
No.
Back down. Like a big, tall tower. And the goal is to just run up and run down. But the higher you are, the less stable you are. And so you fall. But there's people that fell, and you're falling like 5 feet off the ground now onto your head. They paralyze themselves, break their neck, something.
That's fair.
Kia challenge. Near the end of 2020 and throughout 2021, authorities in Milwaukee, Wisconsin noticed a significant increase in car theft. What made this even stranger was the fact that the majority of these stolen vehicles were either from Kia or Hyundai, with theft of these particular cars doubling or even tripling in some areas compared to previous years.
Isn't that, is that a challenge, or is that the fact that aren't there certain car brands and makes and models where they only made like 4 different keys for the cars? And so if you just owned a Kia key, you could just break into fucking other people's Kias.
However, before investigators could determine the cause of this surge, the situation spiraled beyond their control in ways they could have never expected. Put simply, stealing Kia and Hyundai cars became an internet trend called the Kia Challenge.
I don't know if that's really a trend, though. I think it was just known that like Hondas or whatever were just easy to, I don't know, break into. I don't think that's actually a challenge that like you and your friends went out and did every Saturday night.
It began on July 12, 2022.
Oh no, they're full stealing this car. This ain't no just, oh, I have a key that matches.
When a video captioned Kia Boys went viral for demonstrating just how easy it was to steal Kia and Hyundai cars manufactured between 2011 and 2021. All a thief needed was a screwdriver and any regular USB cable, since the connector just so happened to be the perfect size and shape to jumpstart the vehicle. This was a major hardware-level security flaw.
Wow.
In dozens of car models, and there was no permanent way to fix the problem either. Now, the original Kia Boys video was eventually taken down by TikTok, but the information was already out there and it already sparked the Kia Challenge. Teenagers across the US started...
What, so you just break off the top, you break off the ignition, and then there's a little nub that sticks out and you just turn it and the car starts?
Breaking into Kias and Hyundais and posting their...
That is absurdly easy.
...stunts on social media to participate in the challenge. While the stolen cars caused a massive financial burden for hundreds of innocent residents, the real danger of the Kia challenge came from what many of the thieves did once they had taken control of the vehicles.
Oh.
Since many
Crashed into a fucking tree, totaled the car.
of them had no intention of actually profiting off the stolen cars and were only doing it for the internet, they began taking the cars for reckless joyrides around town, putting their lives and the lives of everyone else on the road in extreme danger. One of these joyrides led to a police chase, which eventually ended with the out-of-control car slamming into the concrete barrier and the teenagers who stole the car trying to flee on foot.
Where are you
Bro has their
going?
bag. You're gonna flee on foot down a highway.
Yeah.
Down a highway. Don't worry, bro. You're on Route 33. You'll find the next exit in 5 miles.
Flee on foot. The most disturbing of these incidents occurred in Buffalo, New York in October 2022, where a stolen Kia ride ended in a fatal crash, taking the lives
Whoa. What even happened? Did it flip? Rough up the top? And then, I don't even know.
of 4 teenagers. In total, the Kia challenge resulted in the loss of 8
4 teenagers?
taking the lives
Wow.
of 4 teenagers. In total, the Kia challenge resulted in the loss of 8 lives before the disturbing trend was shut down by TikTok and other social platforms. Kia and Hyundai also had to settle a class action lawsuit for $200 million over the dangerously lax security in their cars.
Bro, I feel like that would warrant like a level of recall where you go to a mechanic
That's what I was about to say.
and Kia has to pay for your car to get fixed, where they like change something out. Because are you still able to just do that to those cars?
Car surfing.
Oh, they did do that. Okay, that makes sense. Where you could just bring your car in and they have to fix it for free.
Car
Not
surfing.
the mechanic shop. The mechanic shop would get.
When he said car surfing, I did not think that far. I thought just like sitting in like the sunroof and just standing out of that, not on the top of the whole car.
Invoice Kia and Kia would pay.
How
it.
do you not get pulled
Or
over
riding
with
on
that?
the outside of a car as if it were a surfboard has existed as a trend long before modern social media was even a thing. It started gaining popularity in the early 1990s, compelling teenagers and young adults to speed down the highway while precariously balancing themselves on top. Today, most modern cars don't have much to hang on to on the outside to improve aerodynamics, which makes this already high-risk activity even more deadly. It only takes one small slip for even the most daring car surfer to fall onto the road. Something that's evident from a 2008 CDC report, which
Yeah, him spread eagle holding the outsides of the car. Like, if they whip a turn, you just fucking fly off. Like, you don't have the grip strength for
revealed
that.
that 58 people lost their lives while engaging in car surfing, and 41 others were severely injured since 1990. Unfortunately, the rise of social media and the desire to go viral with outrageous stunts have only driven that number higher ever since.
To be fair, that 41 incidents, that's like major. Because if you fall off and like scratch your arm really bad, like you're not gonna say you did it car surfing. You're gonna say like you fell down the stairs or something. You know what I mean?
Most recently, in May
So
2023,
it's probably way more than 41.
a 16-year-old boy tragically lost his life while car surfing out the back window of a
In 2023? Bro, I don't think I've heard of people car surfing. I feel like that's not even... Can I say that's not a trend and that's just a dumb idea people just do?
Yeah,
I
that's
wouldn't
fair.
say that's really an internet trend. I feel like car surfing is just something that people are like, hey, why don't you just go stand outside of the fucking window?
car when the vehicle lost control and rolled over. He would have almost certainly kept his life if he were in his seat with a seatbelt. Sadly, the car surfing
If the car fell over, how fast was the car going in order to make it? But this is the whole thing rolled over. So how fast was the driver going with the dude hanging out the car?
trend is just as alive today as it was 3 decades ago, and shows no signs of fading away anytime soon.
You know how terrifying that would be to do on a fucking highway? Like, not that scary if you're going like 10 miles an hour, bro. But this guy's on a fucking highway, probably going, even if he's going slow, still probably going 50, 60. Like, if he falls, he just dies. Or serious fucking physical damage.
Blackout Challenge. The Blackout Challenge has existed long before social media.
Sounds
The goal in this
familiar.
challenge is to achieve a brief high that comes from cutting off oxygen to the brain by intentional
What? I thought this was going to go into the blackout rage gallon trend. Not this. People were fucking auto-asphyxiating themselves to get high and then ended up dying. What? Yeah, the Borg challenge is popular in college and like young people in their 20s. Where you shouldn't do this. So much alcohol. You usually get alcohol poisoning, blackout, throw
Oh,
up.
the
it's bad.
drug.
You take like a gallon of water,
Yeah.
you fucking empty a third of it, and then you pour like alcohol, like hard alcohol to fill the rest. Shake it, pour like 2 Mios in, and then that's what you drank that
And you
day.
can't taste
you
any
don't
of it.
notice how much alcohol you're drinking. Yeah, and then you like name it stupid things. Yeah, Arthur Borgen. That part's fun about it, but it's like, I don't think Borgs are bad if you don't do a lot of alcohol. Like, if you want to do hard alcohol, water, and Mio, and you're only going to do like 6 shots of alcohol and you're going to spend hours drinking it, that's different versus you being like, hey, I'm going to put a 5th of fucking whiskey. I'm going to throw an entire bottle of Jack Daniels. Now, I'm going to throw an entire bottle of Tito's vodka into this bitch, and I'm going to fucking drink that. Yeah, no, you're probably going to die. Isn't alcohol literally poison? Yes.
Yes. However, while many assume that blacking out from lack of oxygen is perfectly safe in the long run, that couldn't be further from the truth. The rewarding
Who thinks that? Oh, actually, I can see how people could think that. Like, I'm gonna stop talking. I can't speak.
high in this challenge is in reality a dangerous form of cerebral hypoxia where brain cells are deprived of vital oxygen. This can lead to seizures and hemorrhages. Even if someone survives the challenge seemingly unharmed, depriving the brain of oxygen for just a minute can cause permanent, irreversible damage. This can affect memory, reasoning, and other critical cognitive functions in the long run. The line between a fleeting dangerous thrill and irreversible tragedy is terrifyingly thin, and once conscious
Why do they have Buddy going down the hall like that? Is this a hospital or is this a school?
dangerous thrill and irreversible tragedy is terrifyingly thin, and once consciousness is lost, there is no way to control the outcome. Not to mention the very real risk of the person never waking up again. Unfortunately, many who try to recreate this challenge are completely unaware of these dangers, resulting in 82 people losing their lives between 1995 and 2007 alone.
Wow.
What makes this even worse is that almost all of these deaths were between the ages of 6 and 19. Much like
6?
other viral trends,
But they were just trying to give themselves a high by choking themselves.
young, impressionable kids are especially drawn in, motivated by peer pressure or the need for validation, online or in real life. Which is why the resurgence of the blackout challenge through social media platforms like TikTok brought it to an even younger audience and left a devastating trail of victims.
Oh,
One of the most
no.
well-known cases is
It got popularized like in the last 5 years.
that of Nyla Anderson, a 10-year-old girl from Pennsylvania. Her family found her unconscious on the bedroom floor on the night of December 7, 2021. They rushed her to the nearby hospital. Unfortunately, it was already too late. After barely clinging to life for 5 days, she tragically passed away without ever waking up. No one knew why she would do something like this, until investigators did a forensic analysis of her phone, which revealed she had been viewing videos of the challenge on TikTok. Another tragic instance.
Viewers of the challenge on TikTok. TikTok didn't take that shit down? TikTok was letting people just fucking film themselves choking themselves.
Well, to be fair, it's hard to know. Like, even if they use like AI, moderation, it's hard to like know if they're talking like blackout, like you're cutting off your oxygen, or blackout, like I don't know, your lights went out in your house.
To get high.
Happened in April 2022.
I feel
when
like
a
it's hard to moderate that so quickly, you know, unless like, until it's too late and it gains traction.
12-year-old boy from the United Kingdom named Archie Battersby suffered catastrophic brain damage after attempting the challenge and passed away months later. And these weren't isolated incidents either. Numerous other children, some as young as 8, suffered a similar fate or other life-altering injuries after attempting this challenge. Sadly, despite social media sites' best efforts to suppress the challenge, it continues to spread to this day.
I mean, dude, those are certain things that you're not going to be able to fully stop ever, but you should have full restriction. I mean, social media should have, I understand the idea of like free speech and posting what you want to. You should not be able to post that shit
Yeah.
on TikTok, being like, hey, here, like I choked myself last night and I got high from it. What the fuck?